This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 962. We're getting close to 1,000. It's a Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, it's Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, Tennessee, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What up?
And joining us from somewhere in America, our very own downtown Emily Brown. Where are you at today?
I am in Austin, taking over for Jamie.
Ooh.
No. Not taking over, but just, that's not what I meant, Jamie.
We taking over one podcast at a time.
Emily, what brings you to Austin?
I have a lot of friends here, and my goal for the year, in addition to traveling, is to just see a lot of friends. And so pretty much who will let me sleep on their couch, that's really like how to sum up where I'll go next, is who has a comfy couch.
Wow.
Or, you know, if they're really fancy, they have a whole extra bed for me.
I would say, well, why are you demanding couches?
Well, I'm just saying like bare minimums couch. Like I won't do the floor, but I'll do a couch.
So your hierarchy of friendship is, couch, pull out, futon, guest room. Like that, if you had to rank your friends, that is how you would gauge them at this point.
Yeah, that feels accurate.
So what, in your theory, then she's prioritizing rich friends over poor friends.
That's
I don't
exactly
know.
what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't.
I'm kidding.
I don't know if it comes down to wealth. It's just how they choose to spend it.
Here's the thing. Have you ever slept on a Casper mattress? Like, this is not an ad for them. I'm just saying they're really nice mattresses. And I've slept on an air mattress at some point during this journey. And that would probably be the lowest. That also is at my parents' house. So they get a free pass because, But
here's the thing about air mattresses that I still don't understand. As far as I know, air mattresses have been a thing for most of my life, but I have maybe slept 2 nights on an air mattress ever where it hasn't slowly deflated. And about 4:30, like I am basically laying on the floor with the remaining parts of the air mattress inflated around me. Like I have made it through maybe 2 nights ever on an air mattress where it doesn't deflate. It seems like the air mattress industry is way behind on technology. Emily, did you have the same issue at your parents' house?
Mine is actually like a pretty decently high quality one. It did slowly deflate, but I didn't end up on the floor. But I definitely have had that experience, and it is very annoying. I think they don't want to improve it because so many people use air mattresses that they were like, well, why would we make a quality one when you can just rebuy one every time you need one?
Yeah.
I think it's all about that capitalism. They're trying to make money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's really happening. We're going to expose the air mattress industry.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember water beds?
Yeah, my parents had one.
Vividly.
Yo, what got us?
I have a brother because of a waterbed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Some motion in the ocean. And all of a sudden I have a little brother.
What got us there as a people? Like, because I remember my aunt had a waterbed, and I thought I was like, yo, that is luxury, a waterbed. Now I sit back and think, I was like, yo, y'all, we were sleeping on a water balloon. That's all this was.
Well, and not only that, I'm surprised that no one's come up with anything between water and foam materially for a mattress. Like, why not have some sort of gelatinous substance? That seems more like, it seems like you get less nauseous.
Well, they have something similar. And the only reason I know this is because I just bought a new bed.
Like a Jell-O bed.
No.
That does not sound comfortable.
But they have a thing called a gel matrix. Because I was about to buy a purple mattress, but I wound up getting one of the mattresses from Mattress Firm that it's called like Sleepy's or something. But so they had like it's like the knockoff purple mattress. I think Purple makes it actually. And it's gel, but it crosses like a grate. And so they'll have like memory foam, then that gel that cross like a grate. Man, look, I slept in that thing. Look, I don't even like getting up when I like that mattress, that purple mattress or that gel matrix stuff that they got. I'm trying to tell you, I ain't selling no mattresses, but look, Mattress Firm, if you want to holler at your boy, I get on here every week. You know what I'm saying? Get it popping. But my back feeling good. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like the height of luxury mattresses are the sleep number ones that like you just lay down and you press a button and it like raises you up.
Those
that feels
terrify
like
me.
Why do they terrify you?
Look, you want to know why it terrifies me? Is because, now here, I didn't tell you. Wow, I forgot to tell the story. So listen, when we bought our new mattress, we had one of those adjustable frames with it. So the first adjustable frame I've ever had in my life. So my wife is like, yeah, we go tilt it up, tilt it back, whatever. They have this thing called zero gravity mode. And what it does is pretty much put your legs up and put your head up to where your body's like a V. And it's like crazy. Well, guess what? My
Just how
mattress
God
got
intended
stuck.
us to sleep. Yeah.
Man, my mattress got stuck in a V. So for 2 weeks, I'm sitting here in the total touch my toes position. Inside my mattress.
That's when you get an air mattress.
Yo, it was crazy. Like zero gravity.
I just had a great idea for like a boutique hotel or even like an Airbnb or where each room has a different themed mattress because like, and I'll partner with a mattress company because like one room is like, hey, this is the dream. Tonight you sleep on Jell-O and it's just a mattress with some sort of Jell-O-like substance that you sleep on. Then you get ball pit night. Okay. Then you get, just cotton balls. I've always wanted to know what it'd be like to sleep on these different surfaces. And it seems like the mattress industry is very limited in their degrees of experimentation they're willing to try here.
You could call it like the Goldilocks end because you like try which one. This could be something. I think this could work.
Oh, man. Long as you don't get stuck in zero gravity, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's
does not
the
sound
worst
fun.
experience in the world.
But actual zero gravity would be fun sleeping experiment. If you could just float like an astronaut for one night.
So a couple of things. One, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, one of our favorite worship groups joins us, We the Kingdom. Also, we have your feedback at the end of the show and all that. So, stay tuned. It's a great episode. But two, I have missed most of what just happened in the last few minutes because my recording interface keeps crashing. And I want to tell y'all something. So remember last week when we were recording, like we were doing the game at the end and I just kept dropping out, right?
Yeah.
We recorded on Wednesday, right? So that night at 11:30 that night, all the lights are out. I'm in the other part of the house watching TV. Okay. And I hear coming from the office, the podcast area, I hear that noise that a Mac makes when you're trying to click on something that's not clickable, like dung, 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 like real loud. Okay. And then after a few, I was like, that's weird. I paused, I turned the TV down. I'm like, what is that? All lights are out. And then all of a sudden I started to hear music. I hear like theme music playing pretty loud. And I'm like, hello? And I walk over to the podcast studio and the lights are out, but like you can tell that the monitor lights are on. So I look around the corner and there's an internet game being played on the podcast studio computer. And then I looked down and there were like 6 or 7 other game apps open on the computer. I have no games installed on this computer. Okay. Dung, dung. Somebody had broken into the computer and was controlling it and launching internet games and like playing games on the podcast studio.
Bro,
so like somehow
got hacked by a 6-year-old.
I got hacked. That's what I'm saying. Like all this glitchy stuff I've been experiencing on the podcast computer is because there's some sort of hack going on. I scrubbed it. I rebuilt the whole computer, everything. And it just happened again. Not the internet game thing, but it's still crashing and stuff.
There's a genius 6-year-old that is upset that after 10 o'clock, he cannot play video games. So he is hacking your computer to play games on yours from like an iPad.
Isn't that crazy?
Now, Cameron, I have a couple questions about this scenario.
I'm sure you do, Jesse.
One, like, so this is, if this is apparently some sort of hacker, but it seems to be a reasonably harmless hacker if they just want to play games. If you're resourceful enough to break into someone's private computer, right? Like at a random home, it seems like you would have the resources to be able to play games from your own computer. Like whatever he's doing or she's doing to break into your computer, I'm sure they could use to just play games. Like, so that seems reasonably harmless. But two, it seems like you've ruled out the possibility that you have an invisible person as an intruder, like some sort of invisibility suit. That seems just as plausible to me at this point.
Jesse,
here's the other thing that's been weird in this room. I have a saltwater aquarium in this room. Okay. And I've been having all these computer issues the last few weeks, but also my saltwater aquarium, I have fish committing suicide, jumping out of the tank. I come in the morning and there's a fish laying on the floor. And I'm like, dead.
Nah, bro. Stop playing with me.
No, I'm dead serious. So I'm wondering if there's some sort of, there's some juju going on this side of the house. I don't know what's going on.
Call the prayer warriors, bro.
Fill the tank with holy water.
You need to send every Pentecostal and Assemblies of God person to your house. They'll get that mug taken care of in 1 minute. By the time they get done pleading the blood, they throw olive oil all over your house. Shoot, won't be nothing in there but fragrance. That's all that'll be left. Is fragrance.
I'm not gonna lie. I was just joking about a person with an invisibility suit until you mentioned the fish outside of the aquarium. Dead.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
Okay, that's a different level of
fish depression is real. We've been looking it up all week. It's like a serious thing. Fish depression. Yeah, they really get sad.
Well, or maybe he's trying to warn Cameron, and like the fish is like, I will just jump out of here and hop over to Cameron's room, not realizing it's a or flop. Yeah, exactly, flop over. But Cameron, I'm not going to lie. That's pretty disturbing. Like, I honestly don't know what to, I remember I read one time this Chuck Klosterman novel called The Visible Man. It was about a guy who invents an invisibility suit, but then he just gets fascinated about standing in people's houses and just watching people when they don't know what they're being watched, like true reality, like true reality TV. Like what would reality TV be like if the subjects weren't aware of the cameras? Like, could you you truly observe human nature? That's more of what the novel's about. But the plot device to explore this big idea is a guy with this crazy invisibility suit. Cameron, it seems like a legitimate possibility that could be happening in your home right now.
I live alone unless I have my son half the time. But so I don't get scared. I don't care. In fact, half the time I probably don't even lock the doors. Just not worried about it.
Don't tell that on a podcast.
That night. Oh,
like, hey,
I do now. Hold on, I do now, because that night it was the first time as an adult I've ever been like actually kind of freaked out, like what is going on in my home, and then fish are just committing suicide. It's just something weird is going on. I don't know, but
I already told you what you need to do. You need to get Mother Jones and Deacon Armstrong over there, and I'm telling you, they'll get that situation.
My mom's been waiting for the invitation for 20 years. Right?
Hey, look, bro, that's what you need to do. I'm trying to tell you, bro.
They'll be anointing doorways, anointing the aquarium. Sir. Obviously, the aquarium.
Yeah, they're gonna drop some holy water in there with the fish,
and it's gonna start foaming up. The oil gonna make the tank foam up.
Emily did not grow up Pentecostal if she thinks that they use holy water. It is anointing oil. It is oil.
It's not just virgin olive oil, extra virgin olive oil.
Anointing oil.
And it's got to be by, what's the name of the Pompeii? Is that the name of the company with the grapes on the front of it?
That's where evangelicals get their anointing oil, and we get our sacraments, our wine in the Welch's grape juice aisle. Like just a little juicy juice, a little extra virgin olive oil, whatever's on sale. A little Newman zoned if you need to. We'll take care of those doorposts. We'll take care of this problem right away. Now, Cameron, has it occurred to you? Because I'm sure when you woke up in the night and some, evil entity is playing Minecraft on your computer, on your podcast computer, and you started praying, and then you wake up the next day and your fish is dead. Has it occurred to you that your prayers were just very effective, and it was sort of a Jesus and the pig situation where you cast that evil Minecraft playing spirit, and it was like, all right, I'm cast out. I gotta find somewhere to go, and he went into your poor fish, just like those poor pig in the gospel story. Is that occurred to you?
It didn't occur to me till just now, but I think you're absolutely correct. That's what's been going on.
Has it occurred to you that this whole line of joking may technically be blasphemous? As I'm saying it, I realize.
Wait, how's it blasphemous? Hold on.
If I cast out my mic,
if I cast out a demon, and I mean, it's in the Bible. You can cast it into the pig. I can cast it into the fish.
Did you cast out a demon on Wednesday night?
Hey, I was praying. I don't know what I mean.
Quick question. I don't know if you know what this means, but it says Florida Senate passes a bill that could dissolve the Disney district.
Right.
So what does that, dissolve the whole Disney, the theme park?
So back in the 60s when Disney was acquiring all that land secretly, they worked a deal with the state for the state to entice Disney to come to Florida. The state said, now they'll give you tax breaks and things like that. What they did back then is they let Disney set up their own city and govern themselves. So Lake Buena Vista is an incorporated city with its own police, its own laws. That's why if there's an injury or death on Disney property, they don't have to disclose it publicly the way some other theme parks would have to, because in their city, they have privacy laws that they don't have to disclose. Yeah, they have their own building codes, their own everything. And so what their state is now talking about out of spite, because Disney's too woke, is that we're going to disband your city and make you adhere to the laws of Orange County and Orlando.
Wow,
so,
I thought it was something like as you had me talk, I was like, oh, okay, this is definitely going to be a greater cause. There's going to be a reason. And it's just like, nah,
it's out of spite.
Y'all are too woke, so we're going to try to bother you.
It's out of spite.
Like, it had nothing to do with like valiance or justice or anything.
Generally, it's a pretty conservative idea that private citizens and private businesses should be able to express their private thoughts without interference or punishment from a government institution. But tides have turned, and now if you say something that runs afoul of an elected official trying to hold on to power, they will indiscriminately punish you by overturning unrelated regulations that are in your favor. But the only good news is, as someone who knows for a fact that Disney jail is real. I am on the side of the good governor, and that institution, I don't know how that's fair, that amusement park gets their own jail, but
it is crazy. I mean, it is crazy that they
Wait a second, you said they get their own jail?
They have Disney jail.
Disney jail is real, man.
No, y'all lying to me right now. You
Disney
cannot tell me that
very real.
There are people right now in jail. Is it like a prison? Like they serve like multiple
Is Minnie
months?
Mouse the guard? Like,
no, it's more like they caught you trespassing in the wrong part of the park.
Okay,
they will hold you in Disney jail until they kick you out, they process you, and they ban you forever or whatever like that. It's just like a holding cell.
Is Darth Vader the judge? Like, what is...
Well, you've been sentenced to 4 nights. Yeah, Goofy, actually. It kind of disarms it a little when you realize, all right, the next 4 nights are going to be away from my family who are staying in Toy Story Land, and I'm with Goofy in Disney jail. But at least it's pretty fun when Goofy said, all right, time for your 1 hour in the yard.
Blake Lively said that she went to Disney prison, if you look on Google.
Who said that?
Blake Lively.
Blake Lively, one of my fish names, still alive. Blake Lively is still alive.
For now.
Alive and well.
I hope she, well, hey, you better stop casting spirits out your computer or she's going to be Blake Deadly very soon.
So look, I know when you have I know if people have teardrop tats or whatever when they go to prison. What's the Disney tattoo? Is it like a little mouse?
Yeah,
the little mouse ears. Yeah,
little mouse ears.
Yeah. If you kill a mouse on Disney property, you got to put one there.
Oh wow!
Oh my God.
All right.
I got tattooed mouse ears on my face. That's crazy.
Yep. All right, well, moving the show along. This is the weirdest start to a show we've had in a long time. All right, moving the show along. Tyler joins us for Relevant Buzz. You're listening to Alfie Templeman. The song is Color Me Blue. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold. Okay, it's time for
Relevant Buzz.
Hey, Tyler, did you hear the news that Timothée Chalamet's dead?
What? No way.
Dead on my floor yesterday morning.
Do you think I would have heard about that, given that seems like that would have come up in my daily just kind of like browsing on the internet. But you know what?
Also,
it's a relevant exclusive.
If you
also,
say
last
so.
Friday, Ariana Grande died.
Wow.
There's,
man, they're dropping like flies out there.
Yeah,
whoever's
really
taking care of the celebrities isn't doing a very good job.
All right, what do you have? What's going on this week?
So we're going to start off with I want to start off with some good news coming in hot with a positive story about obviously we've all had to fill up a gas tank or something in recent weeks. Inflation is rough. It's taken a lot out of us. Prices are going high. If you're trying to travel, like downtown Emily Brown is, you're not going to get very far.
Worst time to travel.
And there's a lot. You may have seen some of the debate about like, well, is it inflation or are these corporations just greedy and they're using this inflation as kind of a cover to boost their prices anyway because they know that people are going to accept the inflation route. And I want to shine a special light on one company that is resisting this urge, and that is Arizona Tea. Are you guys Arizona iced tea? Is this an Arizona iced tea podcast? Are we fans? You know, it's big. It's like a big
tall boy.
Can.
It's a tall boy of nothing but,
brown
sugar
with brown caramel color.
Iced tea is probably
a sprinkle of hibiscus.
Yeah.
It really calls into question the definition of tea, obviously, because I don't know how that works, but it is called Arizona iced tea. And Arizona iced tea, does anybody know how much Arizona iced tea costs?
99 cents. It's on the can.
99
99 cents. And it will always cost 99 cents. According to the founder, his name is Don Voltaggio, he spoke with LA Times and he says he will never raise the price of his product above $1, no matter how high inflation goes. He says, I'm committed to the 99-cent price. When things go against you, you tighten your belt. I don't want to do what the bread guys and the gas guys and everybody else are doing. Consumers don't need another price increase from a guy like me.
He calling out names and everything.
You know the Wonder Bread CEO is like, well, our weekly lunch with the gas CEO is off. I'll tell you that, Mr. Arizona.
Mrs. Baird was livid.
Bob Wonderbread is a price gouger.
That Martin Potato Bread guy is ticked right now. He didn't need to go and make this personal.
Calling out big bread.
It was shots for real.
He did. They went into LA Times goes into. You can read the full report, but they do go into the fact that legitimately the prices for what it takes to make Arizona iced tea right now is going up. Whether that's the ingredients of the actual tea, the aluminum they use to make the cans, the shipping costs, things like that. Right. So this is a sacrifice on the part of the Arizona iced tea guys. But he says he doesn't care. He says, I started out as a blue collar guy. Budgeting your finances on a daily basis was part of life. He says so. No matter what happens.
What if he just has like 30 million cans that got 99 cent printed on them because he got them on the deal and he just can't go up. There's just no way.
It's more expensive. Paint's going up too. You can't just paint over that 99 cent price.
He's like, hey, we got to run with 99 cent, guys. We got those 30 million cans for half off, so we just got to run with it.
I saw us posting this information on the site this week, and I saw the tweets, saw the headlines, and you guys capitalized the A in Arizona, and then RI was lowercase, and then the Z was capital, and then ONA. And I almost sent it to y'all like, hey, I think we have a typo. And then I looked at the can, and you guys were dead on accurate.
No,
that is like, you guys were very particular.
Zona.
That is
Zona is capitalized.
That is dedication to the craft.
So kudos to you guys for the fact checking.
I got their brand Bible, their style guide, and it's about 200 pages long.
Yeah, it's very dark.
It's very dark. Yeah. Their marketing manager is very particular about how their name appears in type. So they're very cool when it comes to prices and profitability. But you lowercase that Z, we got a problem.
Yeah, we got a problem.
Arizona jail. Arizona iced tea jail. Just as bad as Disney jail.
Yo.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got? Stupid. Judge Goofy. So stupid.
It takes the edge off when you're sentenced. It's because it's Goofy.
Is Goofy the jailer? Is he the guy? Is he walking around with his little nightstick
It's all
thing?
Goofies.
That's Donald Duck. That's Donald Duck.
Oh, Donald Duck is the jailer. Got it.
Life without parole.
And see, now Disney got so woke. Judge Goofy's gonna lose his job, and it's just gonna be the Orange County mayor now.
So next thing I want to bring up is this is a study, and I've talked to some of the team a little bit about it. So I'm just gonna ask you, Derek and Jesse, gonna ask you really fast a question here. If you had to guess, what percentage of households in America have an income of over $1 million? What would you guess?
Percentage, I would say 1%.
1%?
They have $1 million. Are you talking about $1 million in liquid cash or in assets?
Income.
So they're bringing in $1 million.
Household. So
every year, $1 million cash.
Yeah.
A milli.
Yeah. I would think it's a very small number as a percentage of the population.
I think it's more than 1% though. I think it's more than 1%.
See, I go in the other way. I forget what the answer is, so I'm just
sure.
But you say less than 1%?
I heard that to be part of the 1% in America, you have to earn over $350,000 a year to be part of the 1%. So to earn $1 million, I would say you're like 0.25 of 1%, maybe. I don't know. What's the answer?
The answer is 0%. It does not even reach the 1%. The number of people who make $1 million in a year who are bringing in $1 million is less than 1%. Now, what's interesting is according to the study from YouGov, they surveyed a bunch of people about how much they thought. What I just did. What would you guess is your estimated percentage of various groups? They guessed, for example, about 10% of Americans have a household income of $1 million. When the answer is actually 0. That proved to be pretty true across the board. They assumed there were a lot more people in minority groups, whether that be financial or racial or religious, than there actually were. For example, they assume that about 20% of Americans are Muslim. The answer is actually just 1%. They assume that about 24% of Americans are gay or lesbian. It's actually just about 3%. On the other end of the scale, Americans tend to underestimate the size of majority groups. So, for example, the more people there are, if it's actually an actual majority group in the country, they tend to think that it's probably a minority group. For example, as you might imagine, Christians assume that they're a minority group. They assume that there's about 40% of Americans are Christians. The answer is actually 70%. They assume that about 32% of Americans own a gun. The answer is actually over half. It's 52%. They assume that only 33% of Americans have a college degree. It's actually closer to 90%. So it's really interesting to see.
What? Whoa. 9 out of 10 adults have a college degree. I don't think that's accurate.
High school.
Oh, high school.
I got that
right.
wrong.
Makes
high school.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I said that incorrectly. But
1 in 5 have spent at least 3 nights in Disney jail.
Yeah.
But it demonstrates what they call this fear of the unknown thing, right? That's what they can attribute this to. You hear about somebody who's not like you. You hear about an outside group who's not part of the majority, and you assume that there's a lot more of them than there are because it's a growing threat. And then you assume that people like you, who are in your mind the normal type of person or the accepted type of person, you assume that your group is getting smaller and smaller, and that you get this sort of victim mentality about who you are. But the reality is that minority groups are called minority groups for a reason. There's not very many of them. And it's an interesting study that really crystallizes a lot of misconceptions that we have about what this country looks like and our own assumptions about the direction that it's actually going.
So you're saying that this is an actual proof of white fragility? Is what you're saying?
I don't want to get DeSantis down here to throw me in Disney jail.
Yeah, that just saying that, Derek, could get Tyler in trouble in Florida. Just
look, I already got 60 comments already on my IG. We ain't even dropped the episode. I already know that mug is gonna happen. I already know this is about to be a heat wave at the Derek Minor. Go ahead and follow your boy to offset the followers I'm about to lose.
All right, what else do you have?
Yeah, well, the last thing, just real quick, I wanted to point out this was a very. We're trying to make a little more pop culture because we do want to make sure that we're your one-stop shop for all your pop culture needs. And there was a very exciting announcement that came out earlier this week, and that is that after a very long hiatus, Kendrick Lamar is going to be returning with a brand new album. It's called Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. That'll be releasing in May. According to him, it'll be coming out on May 13th. And that's really about all we know about it right now. We know this will be his last album with Top Dog Entertainment, which is the label that really broke him as an artist and that he's been very, very committed to for the last few years.
Like broke him mentally, like broke him down?
Well, you'd have to ask him about that. No, I think he
broke him financially.
TDE has been a big part of his career, and obviously has now been a big part of a lot of artists' career. This will be his last album with them. He's spoken very highly of his time there. And in a recent statement, this was a few months ago, he said, there's beauty in completion and always faith in the unseen. May the Most High continue to use Top Dog as a vessel for candid creators as I continue to pursue my life's calling. So it'll be always interesting to see what Kendrick's going to have to say. And especially since I think we talked about this a little bit. He kind of sat out a very volatile period in American history where I think a lot of people really were wondering what would Kendrick Lamar say about this, and he took his time. So he's going to be coming back with hopefully something a little more fresh and maybe not quite as mired in the immediacy of the coronavirus stuff and the political stuff, but something that's a few years removed. No idea what it's going to be like yet. We haven't heard a single, but we will be paying attention to that one when it lands.
See, when you said one-stop shop for all your pop culture coverage, and a few days ago, big thing dropped, I thought you were talking about the thing that Emily has been obsessed with, is the picture of Taylor Swift and Drake that he posted.
Emily's beat.
I have been thinking about it since it dropped, okay?
That's Emily's lane. And I don't step on my colleague's lane. Derek
Drake
says what?
Casually dropped a photo of him and Taylor Swift the other night.
Like an old photo, though, of them like 8 years ago.
I believe 2016, based on my research that I've done. I have a lot of thoughts about it. We don't have enough time because I will take up the whole podcast, but feel free to DM me and I will send you every possible theory I have about it.
Hopefully it's just a single.
It probably
I'll take that. I'll take anything.
Yeah. But it seems like also like the approach and the places they occupy in culture. You know, if you have like Drake and Taylor Swift on this one side who are, you know, sort of social media personalities, and, you know, Taylor Swift has like a Netflix documentary about her and her outlook. You know, Drake is, you know, in commercials and sitting courtside, where Kendrick Lamar has, you know, such a different approach in that, you know, he's not really active on social media. There's sort of a mystique about him personally. He doesn't like I think, or at least the perception is, he doesn't really feel the need to always be out in front of people like a number of other artists. And I think that really, his artistry aside, which I feel like speaks for itself, because if you listen to his catalog, it's incredible. But I also think it just adds more to his credibility, the credibility of his voice, that he can reserve releases for every couple of years when the time is right when the art is right, and he doesn't have this impulse to always just constantly be in front of people with, you know, publicity and social media and memes. It's refreshing to have an artist like that that's able to maintain their relevance, but not sort of give into the ebb and flows of all of the trends and ways that we consume media now.
I think about artists like him in the sense of like, you know, incredibly successful, award-winning. I mean, prestige. He's, you know, the premier MC, obviously, but he just doesn't release the volume of work. He doesn't fill the arenas. He doesn't. And I think about like how much money he doesn't make by taking that approach. Whereas some of his peers, you know, they work the machine, and they, at the height of their popularity, you got to go tour it. You got to cash in. And he just seems to say, I've released my art. I'm going to go do my own thing now. I heard a story once, a similar artist is Frank Ocean, you know, just like amazing game changer, and then just went away. And he's like, and another artist was telling the story of, he ran into Frank Ocean at a party once, and he just was asking him, like, how do you do that? How do you get to call your own shots that way? Like, my label's pushing me this way, this way, this way. He goes, you just got to be okay not making as much money. And like, that's it. Like, what's your value? I mean, like, what are you in this for? You know, if it's your paycheck, then you can't do what I'm doing. And I feel Kendrick has that same kind of mindset.
I think it's not even just what are you in it for, but also the idea of, I have to protect my peace. And, you know, if I have enough money, like, because I saw the note, like Kendrick wrote a note on his website, Oklahoma, and he says, I go months without my phone and just sit and be with my thoughts. Like, he's like, yeah, okay, I want to maximize my opportunities, but I don't have to take every opportunity to do that. You know what I mean? Just maximize the ones that I like. And I don't have to have a hit single he's not trying to break a record. You know what I mean? He's not trying to be the biggest thing ever. He's just trying to be a happy artist, which I think more of us should try. You know?
I would say, which is remarkable. And, and it really does apply to everybody. I mean, we can all make that decision that we don't have to keep up with the Joneses. We don't have to hustle. We don't have to burn ourselves out. We can actually refocus our lives on the things that we feel matter, that God's uniquely calling us to do. We don't have to fit a mold. Just do your thing and commit to it. And you don't have to look like everybody else. I like it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, like an analog, I could think not necessarily their artwork, but their approach to having themselves out there in like, for an actor, someone like Leonardo DiCaprio, who's like, he's not doing late show interviews. He's not on Instagram. He does one movie every 2 years and that's it. There aren't all of this adjacent content. It's all about how can I work with the best filmmakers to tell the best story? And I feel like Kendrick's very similar. How can I write the best songs, work with the best producers and release it?
All right. Well, there's a lot more content where that comes from. Make sure in your daily web browsing, follow relevantmagazine.com, stop by, see all the stuff we're putting out, and follow us on all the socials. Thanks, Tyler. All right. Stay tuned. Up next, We the Kingdom joins us.
I want to settle down with you, with you. I want to complain about my day with you.
You're listening to Ricky Montgomery. The song is Settle Down. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times bestselling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting GodTheScienceTheEvidence.com. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold. Well, our guest today is We the Kingdom. The family band is currently on tour with Casting Crowns, singing songs like Don't Tread on Me and God So Loved. The five members sat down with Relevant's very own downtown Emily Brown to discuss what it's really like working with family, growing closer during quarantine, and creating new, exciting music. Here's our conversation with We the Kingdom.
For God so loved the world that He gave us His one and only Son to save us. Whoever believes in Him will live forever.
You each have your own different music tastes. So what does a songwriting process look like for you? Because I feel like y'all each bring something different. So how do you kind of figure out something cohesive?
It's like beautiful chaos.
It really is. We just sit in a line just like this. And this we all look at each other.
What do you think? Yeah.
I would say this. I feel like there's a mutual respect, for for everyone, and that we all have a common. I mean, it was just yesterday we were working on a Christmas song, and like one or two people left, and I forget who said it. I think Martin said it, or maybe Scott said it. He said, it's just weird. He said sometimes it's just inconvenient that we're just better together, and when we're not all together, it's not the same. I feel like it's like one of those fancy old clocks, with all the cogs and all that. It's like if you take one cog out, the system doesn't work. So it's like we're good checks and balances to each other, because we're all picky as heck, and it's like to get an idea, if it makes it through all the series of gates, it's usually a pretty good idea.
I would say too, we're all super competitive. It's weird. I feel like it's just healthy enough for us to in the songwriting process, we're striving for the best. So as a songwriter, I feel like you have to have some sense of backbone, or even to just tell someone hey, that line sucks, or what, that is not it. We're gonna get there, versus the trying to please everybody and just because someone speaks up, because it's intimate, man. Songwriting, when you throw out a lyric in the room or whatever, it's literally your heart's on the line.
Don't call my baby ugly.
Yeah, it helps that we're family too, because I think there's an extra love, hey, it's okay that you said the worst line ever, or you know what I mean. But that competitiveness of we're striving for the best, and you're gonna find out if that line is good or not, versus just being a pushover and yeah, it'll work, or I think it's pretty good, or just because they spoke out and said something yeah, we should keep it.
That is a triple thought that maybe some of our songs end up in a better place because we don't have the relational pressure to please one another.
Totally. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah,
that's a trip.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know y'all have done some collaborations with artists, you did one with Bear Reinhardt from Need to Breathe. So how was that working with someone who wasn't family?
Well, Andrew's not a family by blood. And I think he's kind of the glue because he keeps his acting sane around each other. He's become, brother from another mother. So this is my dad, Ed. Ed's younger brother, Scott. Me, I'm my brother. So
you're your brother?
No, me and my brother. So that's my uncle. So we're all
brother.
Family. And the more that we've grown, a lot of our team members aren't family. So it's kind of, I feel like it's balancing. It helps us see other perspectives. It helps us pursue another level of excellence. It gives us another flavor, another source of inspiration when you see somebody who's not always done things or written the same way that you always write. It's inspiring. I really have enjoyed working with other people.
I'm gonna climb a mountain. I'm gonna shout about it. I am a child of love. I found a world of freedom. I found a friend in Jesus. I am a child of love.
Well, we're kind of talking about family, and I feel like, especially just given the last year with quarantine and lockdown, family relationships grew, but also were tested. So how do you think this last year has affected kind of your relationship as a band of family members?
Quarantine for us, I was talking to somebody last night just about feeling survivor's guilt in a way, because I think for our band, none of us got really sick from COVID. We have friends and friends of friends who did, and it was awful. But for the season of our lives where we were, we needed to do some pretty deep heart work anyway. And we felt like the last year forced us to have to do that before we toured a bunch. And it also allowed us to make a record. And making a record is also doing serious heart work. And, we've gone to counseling as a band a bunch over the last year. We've had really
deep conversations. And it's with our relationships, with being family and multi-generations and all that, there's just a lot of nuances and a lot of potential resentment, a lot of potential complication. And so we're learning more and more when to talk about the things that need to get talked about, how to talk about them, when not to, and how to respect one another's processes and, all that. So I think it was a really beautiful year to kind of look in the mirror and say, all right, who are we? Who are we becoming? Who were we? And how do we get where we want to go? And so we're still unpacking that. I think the whole world is going to be unpacking the trauma of the last 18 months for the next decade, at least, I mean, there's so much that has happened to the human psyche that we can't even comprehend because it's literally never truly happened in modern history. And so I'm really curious to watch that unfold both individually and collectively here and then also around the world.
You mentioned that you were recording an album during this time. Do any of those songs kind of reflect on that? Those things that you were talking about, like within your heart that you were wrestling with, like did that influence your music as you were writing?
Yeah, I mean, we have a song called Cages. Funny enough, I mean, we wrote it without a while past few years, but we wrote it a while ago. But it actually really applies to the situation and show itself. And I know my heart during quarantine, but it just talks about unveiling like the mask of this person that we present to other people, because everybody wants to put their best foot forward, and so when you meet people, you're talking to people, you kind of have this almost false self that you put forward that is a version of yourself, but it's the best version of yourself, and you oftentimes never hit on the deeper like hurting side or just the real side, like all of us have loneliness. And so it kind of just talks about the process of wanting to be known. And we hope that it takes people along that journey of like feeling safe, like there's a safe place to be known, and it can be so healthy and so healing.
Well, that was We the Kingdom. Make sure to check out their album Holy Water or their more recent live album, Live at Ocean Way, Nashville. It's great. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's your feedback. Listening to Richie Quake and Anna Shoemaker. The song is Crawl. All right, it's time for your feedback. Last week, at the end of the show, randomly, was it the Golden Girls theme song was stuck in my head?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it was.
It had nothing to do with the show. It's just at the end of the show, I just decided to mention this thing was on loop in my head all day, and it was driving me crazy. It was, you know what? Maybe it's part of the ghost possession. Maybe the ghost was
the Golden Girls ghost.
Cut it out.
The ghost of B. Arthur. It was the same show that got weird. Anyway, we asked you, it got us talking about great iconic TV show theme songs. We went online and asked you guys, what is your Mount Rushmore of TV show theme songs? And you did not disappoint.
Nah, it's a lot of them on here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of lies. You guys did not disappoint. Here are a few of our favorites.
I like this one from a listener named Jesse. Great minds think alike. He just said for his Mount Rushmore, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That is all. Agreed. The Mount Rushmore is just Will Smith, DJ Jazzy Jeff, with Uncle Phil and
which mom? Which mom?
Aunt Viv. Aunt Viv, okay. Second. She better vibes. I feel like Aunt Viv, Uncle Phil, Jeff, and Will Smith. to me, that is the epitome of what you want in a theme song. It was really fun. People still remember all of the words like 20 years after it comes on the air. You know it as soon as the needle drops. You know it's Fresh Prince. And it's the lead character in the show performing the song.
That's unique. That's unique.
In terms of, in my opinion, as it's just a sitcom artifact. I'm not talking about the quality of the song. I'm just talking about it as a sitcom artifact. It's pretty unassailable.
That's true.
It'd be like if Jerry Seinfeld or Larry David were on a stand-up bass going, it would be very impressive if they were doing the slapping the bass to that. But it's not them. This is Will Smith actually performing it in character. That is impressive.
Yeah, that is.
I'm seeing a bunch of these, the ones that we know, like DuckTales and whatever. But I'm seeing ones that like a lot of people are saying Scrubs. Like, do y'all even remember Scrubs? Clark plays Scrubs.
But I can't do this all on my own. No, I know I'm no Superman.
I would not. That's not an earworm to me.
So I'm gonna keep it real. I saw a couple Friends on here. Like Friends, I was like, I have to be honest. I've never seen one episode of Friends.
You have not missed anything, my friend.
Yeah, but I'm like, was their theme song slapping like that or not?
It was fine. It's something I think if you heard it, you'd be like, oh, okay. I know
it wasn't
that one.
it wasn't a theme song. It was just a popular song in the 90s, and they co-opted it as the theme song. So it's just
the Rembrandts, if I remember correctly. Like the thing is, this is my, not that I'm an authority on these types of things, but I think the only thing is that song sounds very dated. Like if you were to listen to that song without the context that it was the theme song for one of the most popular sitcoms of the era, you'd be like, this song sounds like a corny mid-90s like alt rock
That's
song,
what it was.
Alt pop. Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't age well to me. I know people are gonna have strong opinions about that.
I'm scrolling through. I mean, this is an amazing number of replies. Not one mention of The Sopranos. How is that possible?
There was only one mention of VeggieTales, which that was one that, because I feel like going back to what you were saying, Jesse, like it's like the point or like the hallmark of a good theme song is like I can pull up those lyrics from my mind without having to Google them. Like everyone knows the lyrics to Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Every good Christian knows the lyrics to VeggieTales. And that just feels like...
How does it go?
If you like to talk to tomatoes, if a squash can make you smile, if you
Yeah, somebody has X-Men on here. I love that because there's no words to it. It's just a riff.
I'm noticing that on a bunch of these. Like people are just like somebody said like The Wire. Yeah, I'm like, wow,
it's just a riff.
The one that I see over and over again here is Cheers, which I agree. When that song comes on, making the way in the
Takes
world
everything
today,
you got.
everything you got. It does make you just want to waltz in. Everybody knows my name. I'm here. Like that song, again, it perfectly nailed the vibe of the show. I think that's the other thing with that. It can't just be a catchy song that people remember. It has to sync perfectly with the vibe of the show.
It's the
like
80s, man. It's the 80s. Like what you just brought up, I just thought about why I love this theme song. You just really inspired me. My man Jonathan Bach said the Jeffersons. And when you think about it, doing well, we're moving on up to the east side. And it's like it's a choir, you know what I'm saying? It's like the Black experience of moving up to the east side. Like, and they nailed it and it's a bop too. So yeah.
The funny thing in the 70s and 80s is like the theme song set the premise of the entire show. You had to tell the backstory and all that kind of stuff. Now they don't. No, they don't just like. Can you think of one current theme song that like tells you the premise of the show?
Well, I feel like I skipped them. Because Netflix gives you the option to skip the intro, like to skip the credits. So I couldn't tell you like a single one.
Do y'all want to know what's crazy? The most iconic theme song to me, one of them is Sanford and Son. Do you know who produced it? Quincy Jones. This is if they had a Quincy Jones song on here.
Wow.
Like on the Sanford and Son theme song, and that's why it's so legendary.
I'm surprised that hasn't been sampled more, because that little effect, like that, whatever they're turning that note, like it is really catchy. And like I'm surprised that hasn't been sampled.
Because Quincy Jones ain't gonna let that go. It's Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones is like, I don't want you rappers rapping about selling drugs over my my song.
He's not gonna clear that one.
No, he ain't clearing that.
The only one that I can think of, and this is top of the dome here, maybe if I give it more time I could, but is a theme song that brings people up to speed with the premise of the show. This is kind of a cheat, but the only one I could think of in the modern era is Arrested Development. But it's voiceover over a song where it's like, and now the story of a family that lost it or whatever, Ron Howard. But it is part of the theme song. Like it isn't detached from it. It's that little, ukulele with, Ron Howard over it. But it does seem like that trope of bringing everyone up to speed on the whole premise of this whole thing is solely in the hands of 30 seconds of melody. That does seem to have kind of gone
I do
away
like
as a
your
trend.
earlier suggestion of or pointing out that who was it that sang that the Fresh Prince theme song was performed by the Star. The only other show that I can think of that did that is New Girl, and New Girl's showing up a lot in the favorites as well. But I think we should make that more of a thing. That to star in a
Hannah
sitcom.
Montana also did it. I know that wasn't mentioned, but I just want that out there.
Frasier, he did it.
Frasier did it.
Yeah, Kelsey
Frasier
did it. I think we need to make that more of a thing. I think we need to make it that the star of the show has to sing the theme song.
It should be a requirement. It should be like, oh, I just got a new sitcom. It's like, all right, well, Kevin James, you're performing it.
I like it.
What happens in Peacemaker?
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I've never seen that. Well, there you go.
Someone, just speaking of funny theme songs, I saw someone say that they texted the lyrics to the theme song from King of Queens, which is another one that in a vacuum, if you heard that song on the radio, you're like, this song sucks. Like, this is the corniest song ever. But in the context of King of Queens, you're like, the eyes are getting weary.
But that's another one that kind of sets the premise of the show. Yeah.
It's a very blue collar show. But I saw somebody on Twitter one time was like, I texted my wife the lyrics to the King of Queens theme song, and her response was, "Oh, I can't wait to see you too." It was just the lyrics
from the Himalayas. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, there's a lot more replies where those came from. Go check out the Relevant Podcast Twitter account. Check out our replies over there. There's a lot of good stuff. Okay, it's time for this week's
editorial question of the week.
All right. Well, earlier in the show, I told you about my, I don't know, whatever's going on, the paranormal activity that's happening in the podcast studio and in my fish tank. It got us thinking about creepy late night things that might have happened in your domicile. I was home alone. It was 11:30. All the lights were out, and I heard dung dung dung. Dun, dun, and then theme music started. Kind of freaked me out. What is your story of the weirdest thing that's happened in your house, late night type vibe? Now, if you actually had to break in and confronted the person, don't tell us those stories. We don't want actual tragedies. We just want weird stuff. So hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast or wherever you see us post this question, and we'll read our favorites next week. I have actual stories of crazy stuff from high school and stuff, but I'm going to save it.
Or you going to bait the hook here?
Next week, I'll tell you.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Fair enough.
Well, before we wrap the show up, I want to thank We the Kingdom for joining us today. Make sure to check out their recent albums. Holy Water is great. There's others. Go check it out wherever you listen to music. Also, I mentioned it earlier in the show, but don't forget to go check out Relevant Plus and get an ad-free version of this podcast released early, plus other exclusive subscriber content, all ad-free, premium experiences. Go check it out. You can find out all the info at relevantmagazine.com. Also, while you're at the site, make sure to check out our spring digital issue. The ad-supported version is available for free there at the website. It is presented by He Gets Us. You can see conversations with Ryan Reynolds, Bob Goff, Channing Tatum, Madison Pruitt, Shauna Niequist, so much more. It's a stacked issue. You don't want to miss it. It's available now at relevantmagazine.com. Also, while you're at the site, make sure to sign up for our free daily newsletter to keep up all the great new content we're putting out on the site. You'll get our top 5 trending articles in your inbox every morning. Sign up right there on the sidebar on and the homepage as well. Also, make sure to follow Relevant on all the socials to get all the latest that we're putting out all day, every day. There's a lot of stuff. Stay connected. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap it. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Derek Miner.
And I'm Emily Brown.
We will see you next time. Have a good week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
Life without parole.
Relevant Podcast Network.